Everyone treats pensions like the holy grail of retirement. The idea of guaranteed income for life sounds like the ultimate reward after decades of work. But here's the truth: if you don't understand how pensions actually work, that safety net can quickly turn into a financial trap, locking you into rigid systems and limiting your financial freedom for decades. It's not just about receiving a check every month. It's about how the check fits into the broader puzzle of your taxes, healthcare, social security, and long-term planning. Unfortunately, most financial advisors don't fully grasp the nuances that come with pensions, because they're largely trained to handle clients with 401(k)s and personal savings accounts. So, if you're one of the lucky few with a pension, especially in the private sector, where only about 15% still have access, you need to approach your retirement with a deeper level of strategy. Pensions can be powerful. Used correctly, they provide unmatched stability. Used blindly, they become restrictive and even dangerous. The guaranteed income you receive is pre-tax and generally fixed for life. That means it's not just your regular income stream, it's something that directly impacts your tax bracket, Medicare premiums, Social Security taxation, and your ability to execute smart moves like Roth conversions. Most people don't think of these ripple effects until it's too late. But the structure of your pension doesn't just influence your income, it influences the flexibility of every other aspect of your financial plan. While it's comforting to know you'll get paid monthly no matter what happens in the markets, that peace of mind can create a false sense of security. Many people assume that guaranteed income means there's less need for planning, but it's actually the opposite. Take the case of a retired teacher who believed her pension came with full inflation protection. During a state budget crisis, her cost of living adjustments were frozen. She was locked into what she thought was a secure income stream that wasn't growing to match rising expenses. Another retiree, who had spent 30 years with a Fortune 100 company, discovered during the company's bankruptcy that the PBGC limits would significantly reduce her benefits. She was expecting $4,200 a month, but received only $3,800 instead. These aren't isolated incidents, they're real consequences of assuming that pensions are bulletproof. One of the most important decisions pension holders face is whether to take a lump sum or monthly payments. This choice can literally make or break your retirement, and most people approach it with incomplete information. The Department of Labor reports that nearly 67% of lump sum offers undervalue the true monthly pension stream by around 18%. Why? Because the discount rate your employer uses often assumes unrealistically high returns if you were to invest the lump sum yourself. This makes the offer seem more generous than it really is. For instance, a client once had to choose between a $580,000 lump sum or $3,200 per month for life. On the surface, monthly payments made sense if he lived past 82. But when we factored in his wife, who was 10 years younger and in excellent health, the dynamics changed entirely. If he took a single life pension and died early, she would lose his income and face higher taxes as a single filer. The solution? Opting for a 100% survivor benefit, which reduced his pension to $2,880 a month, costing over $100,000 across 25 years. In contrast, taking the lump sum would have allowed him to invest the funds, control taxes, and leave a legacy, all while keeping the full amount available to his spouse. But lump sums come with their own risks. They only work if you or your advisor have the knowledge, discipline, and emotional control to invest and manage the money properly. Poor investment decisions or bad timing can destroy your financial security just as easily as inflation or taxation. The lump sum versus pension debate ultimately comes down to three key factors: your investment confidence and skill, your family's longevity outlook, and your long-term goals around tax strategy and legacy planning. Another commonly misunderstood issue is inflation. While many pension recipients feel protected from market fluctuations, they often underestimate just how devastating inflation can be. Even with a modest 3% inflation rate, your pension could lose half its purchasing power over 24 years. Imagine retiring at 60 with a comfortable monthly check, only to realize at 84 that it buys you half as much. While some pensions offer cost of living adjustments, most are capped at 2% or 3%, and many are subject to changes depending on state or corporate budget pressures. Retirees from places like Illinois and California have seen their COLAs frozen or reduced unexpectedly. Even large companies like Delta, after going bankrupt, had pension benefits taken over by the PBGC, stripping away inflation adjustments and cutting base payments. To combat inflation, your pension should be considered the fixed income portion of your portfolio. That means your other accounts, 401(k)s, IRAs, Roth IRAs, and brokerage accounts, should be positioned for growth. Investing for higher returns becomes essential because the fixed nature of your pension doesn't keep pace with rising costs. And if you're considering a lump sum, inflation should heavily influence your decision. A lump sum, when invested wisely, has the potential to outpace inflation. But again, this requires strong planning and discipline. There's also tremendous value in coordinating your pension with Social Security. Most retirees think of these two income streams as separate, but when they're planned together, the result can be significantly more income over time. Traditional advice tells people to delay Social Security until age 70 for the biggest benefit, but that's not always the best strategy for pension holders. For example, if your pension is already covering your core expenses, you can afford to claim one spouse's Social Security early, while delaying the others to maximize long-term benefits. This approach helped one couple generate an additional $180,000 in Social Security over 8 years that they would have otherwise forfeited. By the time the second benefit kicked in, it had grown to provide a powerful inflation-adjusted stream of income. What's more, your pension counts toward the income thresholds that determine whether your Social Security benefits are taxable. Once your combined income crosses certain limits, up to 85% of your benefits can be taxed. And when one spouse passes away, the surviving spouse faces a double blow, losing one Social Security income and shifting to single filing status, resulting in higher taxes on a lower income. This is where smart tax planning comes in, especially using Roth conversions. Most traditional retirement plans assume your income will be lower in retirement, but pension holders often find themselves in the same, or even higher, tax brackets. Delaying Social Security while gradually converting traditional IRA assets into Roth IRAs can lock in current tax rates and minimize future liabilities. Some retirees also use what's called a supercharged pension maximization strategy. Instead of reducing monthly benefits with a survivorship option, they take the higher single life benefit and use the difference to purchase life insurance. This not only protects their spouse but also keeps flexibility and potentially increases long-term value. Ultimately, your pension doesn't simplify retirement planning, it transforms it into a more complex and rewarding opportunity, if done right. By coordinating pension income with Social Security, using smart tax planning strategies, and allocating your other investments with a focus on long-term growth, you can turn that fixed monthly check into a launchpad for a thriving, secure retirement. But make the wrong decisions, or rely on generic financial advice, and you could be stuck with decades of regret and missed opportunity. If you've made it this far, it means you're serious about protecting your retirement. The good news is, with the right strategy and guidance, your pension can become the most powerful part of your financial future.